Okay, we have a few people today. Sorry, yes. So we'll start as usual with a turn of names, but afterward we'll try the Hispanic way of Borówka Café. Why I say Hispanic and not Spanish? Because not from Spain, but basically it's been invented by Roxana Kramer in Argentina. So it's just a little bit different from what we do usually. Well, the whole process will be more or less the same, but the beginning will be a little bit different. Just to try something different from time to time. So, Guido from Italy.
Tomasz from Germany and Poland.
Simon from Poland.
Adrian from Portugal.
Claudia, Poland. Maja, Poland.
Mariusz from Poland.
Gianmarco, Italy.
Gustavo, Italy.
So bravi.
Sì, mi chiamo Maddalena.
Manca un po' sacrificato.
No, mi siedo qui perché sono qui. Sorpresa del
Non te lo
gioco.
aspettavi.
Gianmarco Italy. Yeah, you already told me, sorry. So,
Gustavo.
okay. So, have somebody seen the movie that I've been posting today on the event? Raise your hand if you've seen it.
The last one.
Yeah, the last one. Look up. Wow.
I started but I didn't finish. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, the little difference from what we do usually is that I'm going to read something for 3 minutes. It's just a little poetry that lasts 3 minutes. I already counted the minutes, so I'm pretty sure that it's going to be free. And then...
We call it little poetry.
Yeah. What is a little poetry for you? 3 seconds?
8. Fast spoken.
Okay. And well, it's probably the most famous poetry in this planet in this moment because it's being seen by 60 millions of people on YouTube. So you probably already seen it. There is this guy saying to
Technology.
yeah, talking about technology. It's like nowadays he's more famous than Shakespeare, I think, because really it's like he's been translated in every language and has been posting the Polish version of the event. So. Do you feel like reading it?
Yeah.
Okay. I have 420 friends, and yet I'm lonely. I speak to all of them every day, and yet none of them really know me. The problem I have sits in the space in between looking into their eyes or in an email screen. I took a step back and I opened my eyes. I looked at it round and realized this media we call social is anything but. And we open our computers and it's our doors will shut. All this technology we have is just an illusion, community, companionship, a sense of inclusion. When you step away from this device of delusion, you awaken to see a world of confusion. A world where we are enslaved to the technology we mastered, where information gets sold by some rich, greedy bastard. A world of self-interest, self-image, self-promotion, where we all share our best deeds, but leave out all the emotion. We're at our most happy with an experience we share, but is it the same if no one is there? Be there for your friends and they'll be there too, but no one will be if a group message will do. We edit and exaggerate, crave adulation. We pretend not to notice the social isolation. We put out words into order till our leaves are glistening and we don't even know if anyone is listening. Being alone isn't the problem, let me just emphasize. If you read a book, paint a picture or do some exercise, you're being productive and present, not reserved and reclusive. You're being awake and attentive and putting your time to good use. So when you are in public and you start to feel alone, put your hands behind your head and step away from the phone. You don't need to stare at your menu or at your contact list. Just talk to one another, learn to coexist. I can't stand to hear the silence of a busy commuter train when no one wants to talk for the fear of looking insane. We're becoming unsocial. It no longer satisfies to engage with one another and look into someone's eyes. We're surrounded by children who, since they were born, have watched us leading like robots and think it's the norm. It's not even likely you'll make world's greatest dad if you can't entertain a child without using an iPad. When I was a child, I'd never be home. I'd be out with my friends, on our bikes with Ron. I'd wear holes in my trainers and gaze up my knees, or build our own clubhouse high up on trees. Now the park is so quiet that it gives me a chill. See no children outside and the swings hanging still. There's no skipping, no hopscotch, no church and no steeple. We're a generation of idiots, smartphones and dumb people. So look up from your phone, shut down the display. Take in your surroundings, make the most of today. Just one real connection, it's all it can take to show you the difference that being there can make. But there is the moment, as she gives you the look, that you remember forever, as when love overtook. The time she first held your hand or first kissed your lips. The time you first disagreed but still loved to bits. The time you don't have to tell hundreds of what you're just done. The time you sell your computers so you can buy a ring for the girl of your dreams who is now the real thing. The time you want to start a family and the moment when you first hold your little girl and get to fall in love again. The time she keeps you up at night and all you want is rest. And the time you wipe away the tears as your baby flees the nest. The time your baby girl returns with a boy for you to hold. And the time he calls you granddad and makes you feel real old. The time you take it all you made and when we're grieving a life attention. And how you're real glad you didn't waste it by looking down at some invention. The time you hold your wife's hands down beside her bed, you tell her that you love her, lay a kiss upon her head. She then whispers to you quietly as her heart breathes finally beat, and that she's lucky she got stopped by that lost boy in the street. But none of those times ever happened. You never had any of these. When you were too busy looking down, you don't see the chances you miss. So look up from your phones, shut down those displays. We have a finite existence, a set number of days. Don't waste your life getting caught in the net, because when your end comes, nothing worse than regret. I'm guilty too of being part of this machine, this digital world we are heard about not seeing, where the type as we talk and read as we chat, where we spend hours together without making eye contact. So don't give into a life where you follow the hype. Give people your love, don't give them your like. Disconnect from the need to be heard and defined. Go out in the world, leave distraction behind. Look up from your phone, shut down the display. Stop watching this video, live life real way. Now, probably you understand nothing because my English is terrible. But still, the poetry is quite famous, so probably you already seen it on the mat, even if you haven't seen the version in Polish that I posted. And here we have a lot of topics going on. The basic one is trying to not lose your life with technology, but we have even life itself. Because in this poetry, and I think that is the reason why he had that much success, he's talking about every moment of life, everything you can do in your life instead of watching your phone. My one too, because I have a smartphone like everybody else. It's like, and so we have like childhood, that is the main departing point, but of course afterward we have the moment where this guy meets a girl exactly because he's not looking at the phone but looking around. And this girl is lost in the city, and so he's able to say, hey, you need some help? And everything stops. Now, from now it's gonna be like every other time. So basically you can propose your topics and you raise your hand, you say, I would like to discuss this aspect or this or this or this. We will take a list of aspects you want to discuss, and then you will have the time to tell us why you want to discuss exactly about this one.
So what was exactly the reading for? What was exactly the reading for?
Well, in the primer method is to give an exploration. Because, for example, Roxana Kramer doesn't work in a city like Wrocław, she works in a city like Buenos Aires. Up there, a philosophical cafe means 150 people. It means like a cinema full of people. Because you're talking about a city that counts like 2 million people. So everything is proportional. So those people at the beginning can be a little bit scared of proposing something. So she reads something that can give some inspiration, and then they can discuss about it. I just wanted to try with something short that is quite famous in this moment. And if you like this new method, we can continue with it. If you will prefer to go back to the old one, we will be back to the old one the next time.
Don't you guys want to move here?
Oh, okay.
Chances and dangers of technology, or modern technology.
Chances or dangers and modern technology. Once again, your name, sorry? Tomasz.
Well, I have something completely not inspired by this.
Go with it.
Nudity, immorality or banned nature?
Nudity?
Banned. Banned.
Immorality?
Yeah. Or a banned nature?
Or ban?
Banned.
Ah,
B-A-N-D-E.
Yeah.
So we brainstorm for some seconds, is that right?
sorry?
Something like that.
Okay, so I'll just grab
Tam maszynki muszę zobaczyć, jest zawsze taki sposób,
Yeah, of course, feel free to propose even something that is not inspired by this one. Because if you came already thinking I would like to discuss this, then tell it to us. We're both in forever.
Guns versus war.
That's curious.
There's something I wanted to discuss.
I will give you the
time
after.
after.
Yeah, but I'm very curious about this one because guns against war. It's curious because I think that the most interesting thing for us, I mean, we are everybody about 30, okay? A little bit less, a little bit more, but it's discussing about the beginning of a family. And I think that to have it or not to have it at this moment of our life for everybody here is quite a central topic, and nobody's touching it. It's curious.
Change war for violence. Guns
Violence.
versus violence.
You mean like shooting violent people?
Later I will explain.
rok to było jakoś tak, że myśmy wtedy... Jak się zaczynały połączone z...
I need to think on the topic how I want to put it, but let's say physical music, and then 2 points, an extinction or something like this.
Bo w ten dzień się zaczynało, tak, bo był, tak, bo była impreza w Apie wtedy. Myśmy mieliśmy tę imprezę, ale jednak to już było trochę za późno, więc stwierdziliśmy, że jednak jedziemy wtedy. Dlatego chcieliśmy jechać dzień wcześniej. Znaczy dzień później.
Be creative. Think about what do I would like to discuss now. I mean, there are a lot of people here.
Okay, let's go back to the inspirational speech you've taught us before, and I would like to propose relationships and technology. Relationships and technology.
Your name was
Mariusz.
Mariusz. I met you on the birthday of Claudia.
Yes, yes. I've seen you with the smartphone.
Nasz topic is biology speech couples versus marriage.
Versus?
Marriage. Kombinacja versus marriage.
Eugenio, isn't it? Okay. If you want to be more comfortable, I think that there is nowadays. So instead of being too here.
Should help my neck for
No,
sure.
no, as you wish. It's just that.
Yes, my neck wishes.
And what else? Is it your hand?
No.
Just a finger.
I'm just wondering.
A finger is 1/5 of a hand.
No.
We still miss 4/5 before to have a topic. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Normally we take about 10. But if you want, we can even start explaining those.
I have one idea, but I'm still trying of putting it in the topic and putting it in a sentence. Okay, let's go with the easy way, then I can explain better. Flyers, annoying or useful. I wanted to put it in another way.
Asia teraz zrobiła, bo ona pewno się więcej nie prowadza, ja mówię, ale ty masz już ale ty masz pewnie taką swoją przez coś.
Okay, so maybe I would propose to subject like making a connection, and mostly about connecting with other people, but not only.
Making a connection?
Yes.
I just need to say the topic. You can.
Okay.
Afterward you will have time to explain it.
Jak ona nawet boi się na krzyki,
Making a connection
Oh, that's all. Maya.
Maja.
Przed stacją masz wiatr z koleją, za wiatrem masz być dział. Bo ja tam przez coś żyję właśnie do koleżanki, ta koleżanka mieszka na Krzyskiej. I mówię, wysiadasz na pewno na Krzyki, idziesz 100 metrów prosto.
Some other ideas?
Intellectual property.
Intellectual property.
Sorry, ale nie jestem się
Adapt or not.
Nie będę się tym przedstawiał sobie, że na mapie jej pokazywałem.
Because indeed I'm breaking intellectual property because I'm going to put on YouTube a version of this poetry without having the
Nawet jeżeli
edition.
zapytasz się
So in a sense, but my version is awful, so there is no jam. No, because I saw something that I found. To wszystko? Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, siedem, 6, 7, 8, 9. We missed just one. Please
Czyli nie to, że
give us one more.
nie to, że się źle czuli, tylko po prostu zjebała sprawę i powiedzieć.
Maybe you can propose something.
It's against the
It's
rules.
against the rules, so
I have to shut up. The only thing I can do is to be there to help people to discuss, but I cannot discuss myself. Otherwise, it would be a lesson instead of philosophical practice. And I'm not a professor, so it's better not.
Okay. Marriage.
Marriage.
Natural state or social programming?
social?
Programming.
Marco, you have to propose a topic. It's your last philosophical cafe.
Why?
Because you're going in Barcelona.
To organize it.
Yeah, okay.
So you're going out. So you are burned out.
We will see.
Okay, guys. Now we will have everybody 10 minutes to, well, no, not 10 minutes. We don't have 10 minutes. 2 minutes to explain why we want to discuss this specific topic, and it will be like, yeah, just 2 minutes for each, and you will tell us what do you mean with this title and why you want to discuss that. Chances and changes in modern technologies. Tomasz.
Spokojnie, ma sprawy, zaraz jesteśmy. Jeździliśmy do, a tam jest cudowny stan, kanapa, stół, 2 krzesła i kilka.
I grew up in a very natural environment without any kind of modern so-called technology. We had a telephone, we had a TV and a radio, that was it. And my childhood was very fulfilled. Now I'm working on a digital basis with Skype, smartphone, laptop, and spending tons of time in the digital world and trying to find a balance. To use this technology as a tool, but not trying not to distract myself from being a human being, which is a social one, which is a person who needs social contacts and physical contacts as well. Eye contact, scent, touch. But when your best friend is living 5,000 miles away, what do you choose? No contact or digital contact? And that's actually my point of view and my interest in discussing this topic. Thank you.
It's quite interesting even for us because we're leaders expats, so for us it's quite catchy, I think. Now we have nudity, immorality, or banned nature. Immorality. I said immorality. I had approached that.
Okay, well, you know what's the problem with nudity in this cultural context? If you went out naked, the police is going to immediately take you to the police car and fine you. And there are some other cultures when this is not a problem at all. And probably a couple of thousands years ago, this also wasn't a problem at all. It wasn't a problem in ancient Greece where the Olympics were naked. So I've tried to like ponder on a dilemma. If it's actually needed, if it's actually anything wrong in nudity and its aspects, and if it's not like we just well, simply complicating our lives with it and probably imply some harmful programs in our minds by
Now we have violence versus war. Adrian.
So this,
Can you just one thing?
No, it was-
We have people sitting behind. Can you step up so they will be
yeah,
able to
sure.
see you?
It was actually guns versus violence.
Yeah.
I wanted, yeah, because I wanted to change war for what? Violence.
War for violence. I'm sorry.
This actually came during work. I work during the night, usually with a colleague, and well, it's a long time, 12 hours, so you kind of have to talk to each other to sometimes spend the time. And his topic was, if guns would be legal in Poland, would I buy one? And I said no. And he said, why not? Then you could be more safe. And well, my point is, do you think for him, for example, the idea is if guns would be legal, that wouldn't mean the increase of violence? And for me, it was. Like, if guns would be legal, in my opinion, automatically the violence would raise up very high. But his point of view is that if everybody had guns, then everybody wouldn't attack each other because they know that the other person also has a gun, so I wouldn't attack you. And so I wanted to know the other point of view because for me it was quite clear that I don't want to have a gun, and having legal guns, for me it's of course sure of increasing of violence, and for him not. So I wanted to know other people's opinion about that topic. Yeah.
Now, physical music, yeah, you once again. Physical music and extinction.
So it's quite simple. So are CDs, vinyls, and cassettes going to be extinct? Or are they becoming extinct already? Or do people still really buy CDs and really want to support artists or whatever? What's your opinion? Is the music industry going to be only digital? Or there's still a lot of people that actually want to buy the physical thing itself? That's it.
Even too fast. Mariusz, relationships and technology.
Yeah, this topic was inspired by the reading of the poem, where the author assumed that you can find at least more likely find real love outside the digital world, which is quite fascinating for me because at least theoretically you can just on Facebook or anywhere on some forums you can find people in which you have more in common, so you could probably be a better match. Or even just through these applications which are like Tinder. I don't know if you know it, which like actually are matching through the smartphone. So for me, which is better, or at least why the real one to choose?
Couples versus marriage. Eugenio.
This is inspired by the poem Durant, and the one with the evolution from the childhood until when a person gets older and maybe gets some children. So I was thinking, this inspired me to think about having children in a couple or outside a couple. I mean, as married couple or not married couple. Yeah, this is it.
And as you spent just 30 seconds, so I will just ask you one thing. Why do you want to discuss that?
Because it may be a tough decision in life, and I don't know if there is a true advantage in getting married instead of just being a couple without marriage, so without church approval, let's say.
Flyers, annoying or useful? Adrian.
Well, this actually came from, well, everybody goes to Lunik, if not every day, very often, and you have all these people giving you flyers or something. And it made me think, and well, mostly for myself, that if I do take them, I barely read them, and even if I would read them, I would not go to that place itself, and I believe that is not the best way of advertisement. And actually I wanted to write an article about that, and but I haven't. But anyway, I wanted to know the opinion of people, because the reason why I wanted to write that article, I never wrote anything, but I mainly wanted to know the opinions of people. If you think this is really an effective way of advertisement, or is it good for the people that are doing the job? Is it good for the business? Is it good for the audience? Because in my opinion, it's bad for everybody. And I wanted also to propose, if I would write that article, some alternative, not only criticize, but anyway, I wanted to know the opinion of people. If you do take flyers, if you look at them, if you would go to those places because of this kind of advertisements. So yeah, that's the
Maya. I don't have a writing pen. Making a connection. Thank you.
Okay, so I was thinking about the need of connection, like in our lives. We usually feel that ourselves is not enough, so we are looking for something else in the world. Sometimes we look to connect with other people, sometimes we look to connect with something higher, like some people choose, like if they believe in God, so they feel connected to God. If they are some kind of idealists, they believe in some idea, or maybe they are scientists and they are connected with some they feel drive to know the world better, something like this. And my point is that it's very interesting how people are looking how to make the connection, what kind of connection is most valuable for them, and why they choose. If it's something they are aware that, okay, I prefer to connect more with this than with that, because I really appreciate something in this, or it's more like intuitively that we just go this path and we don't think so much why this path.
Everybody is very able to be brief today. My compliments to everybody. Intellectual property.
Okay, so nowadays it's a really big fuss about this property rights and especially intellectual property. We are constantly immersed with all kinds of digital media, and not only digital media, it's also about patents and stuff like medicines and other scientific achievements. So it is traditionally something consists like similar to stealing, that you are actually taking someone from another person, whereas the traditional definition of stealing involves taking it so the author does not have it anymore, and it seems different to a lot of people. So I don't know, many of us, I don't know, maybe there's some artists here, or maybe people who are actually working in a field and personally involved in trying to, or at least having some personal views that are connected with them of keeping this. So I would like to hear and discuss something, because it also touches my job as a programmer. I create software, so technically some people can take it from me for free without paying. So yeah, that's why I'm concerned about it. I think it's one of the biggest topics, ethics. Thanks.
Marriage, natural state, or social programming. Accomplish.
Around about 200,000 years ago, there were like chimpanzees, bonobos, and the ancient form of the Homo sapiens, and there was no marriage at all. the ancient tribes, which are about 150 to 200 people strong, there is no marriage. Nowadays, the chance of having a successful marriage is like 50-50. All over the world, everywhere, it's about 50-50. The time is about 2.5 to 3 years. My question is, why get in the ring when it doesn't mean nothing to you and you will get divorced in 3 years? Why do it? Why pay so much for marriage and afterwards as well? Is it necessary, or is it the way Hollywood and other puppet masters want to sell products and other things? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we still have about half an hour before the pause. In this half an hour, I will ask to any of you. Well, sometimes I ask to defend another position, but other times I ask to just give a question. And last time we tried to defend the position of somebody else, so this time we'll try with the questions. So, do somebody have a question for Tomasz about chances and dangers in modern technology? Okay, I cannot propose anything, but I can ask questions, so I will go for it. And do you really think that we have, it's a little bit of provocation, just to make you answer something. Do you really think we have some chance in new technology?
Of course.
Because, no, but the provocation is about the fact that the life is not getting longer. No more.
Everybody said 7 days, 24 hours.
It was higher and higher until the 60s, and now it's stable. Even if in theory it must be longer. So the question is that, yeah, technology in general gave us longer life and better life. But is it actual modern technology giving us really something more or not, in your opinion?
Yes. It's giving the possibility to everybody, like here in this club, to connect with each other without having the permission of the puppet masters. To use internet, Facebook and other positive platforms, which might be positive, to connect and create something human and positive and worth existing, like initiatives and platforms where people can connect, where someone can gain some help, or just a positive kind of experience. For example, if somebody is stressed, feeling sad, lonely, you just can ask, as I did 2 weeks ago, because I moved to Wrocław 2 weeks ago, just ask, I need a flat, where I can find this. I started with Facebook, I connect with some groups, and from there I got a flat, I got other things which were really needed, and it was completely for free. And I liked it.
So now a question for Szymon about nudity, immorality, or banned natural.
Kupiłem 6 torebek, wsypaliśmy do garnka te 2 czajniki gorącej wody.
Do you think that nudity on a daily basis would be possible in Poland?
Well,
You mean because of the weather?
after changing the
For example,
yes, also, but well, there are some people who are resistant enough to go naked at winter, right?
yeah,
So if they like to, and if the law didn't
and they have enough fur.
if they have enough fat also. And probably just a simple training.
For sure.
That they would be able to, if only law would allow that, if only culture would allow that, and you know, if they were perceived as freak and well, now if somebody's naked and he, even if police doesn't give an intervention, then, well, some freak could just attack them or something. Except the resistance, you probably would also need to have some kind of gas in your hand. But yeah, it's in theory everything's possible.
I have a question for him still. Is it okay to invade others? Is it okay to invade the privacy or to invade the freedom of others for your own freedom? So is it okay that for you to be free and to do the things you have, to cross the border of the freedom of other people?
I would say that's not, but well, the border isn't. It's really ambivalent. It's not 0-1. It's grayscale. You don't really know where's the border, and it's a very nice idea. I 100% agree with it. But it doesn't 100% function. It's not possible to be 100% free without influencing the freedom of others, and we are being influenced by it.
Yeah, actually,
I don't know in which direction this dilemma goes, because I wonder if me, you know, like walking naked all around the town, would be for you, like danger for freedom of others, because for me it would be like the opposite way.
Okay, we have to go. And please stand up when you're speaking, because I don't think that they are able to hear everything. Okay. Guns against violence. Questions for Adrian.
Didn't America teach us enough?
Are you asking me? Well, for me, yes. I mean, I am against. That's why I wanted to know if there was other people with the same opinion or with a different opinion, and why. Because, well, my colleague was strongly believed that he would buy a gun for protection because he needs a gun for protection once there are mafia or something that have guns, and he feels unsafe that they can kill him at any time, and if he would have a gun he would feel more protected. So he feels that it's unfair that guns are not legal because, you know, even if they are legal or not, there are people that are going to get it. So he doesn't feel safe. So he would, if he could have one, then he would feel safer than he is now.
Once again for Adrian, physical music and extinction. Your topic was quite similar.
Okay, I can ask you a question. Why did you assume that the physical music was the biggest thing the artist did to get their pay for it? They actually, like from many researches I read, like at least half of the money it's from live shows, and this is the more traditional way of earning for a living for a musician, like throughout the centuries. Plus nowadays, like Spotify and other companies also names to the artists?
Well, I don't know. I am a musician myself, but I don't sell anything. I'm just playing
Okay.
for fun. Sorry. So well, my question is, I love going to concerts and I love having the physical thing, not only for listening to the music because I can do it on the internet, but to have it, to feel it, to more like a collector maybe. But every time I go to a concert that I like, I buy a CD. Every time I see a musician on the street that I like, I buy a CD because I feel that I'm supporting them. And when I'm buying the CD directly to them, I feel like the money is going directly to them. When I buy it from a shop or something, maybe not so much. But from what I've seen or what I've heard from musicians, that all of these online platforms, they are a nightmare because they keep almost all the rights and almost all the money, so they actually also don't earn much online. And I felt like if I buy the CD, especially if I buy directly from them on the concert or something, I can see them, I feel that more like I'm supporting them directly rather than some other alternative way. And especially because I like the physical thing. I like to go, for example, there's a place in Wrocław called Vinyl Café, where you have all the vinyls, you can go through them, you can choose which one you want to listen to. And if you would just have a computer with a lot of playlists, I don't know, it would be boring in my opinion. I like to come at home and see all of my huge collection of CDs and today I would like to listen to this one or this one. I don't know, it makes me joy, but I think inevitably it will die. I think it's already dying quite fast, and there might be some people that like to have them as collection, but the future is towards technology, I'm afraid.
Okay, for Mariusz, relationships and technology.
Well, it's just a simple question. Have you made any strong connection? I'm not saying a girlfriend or something but like a good friend through technology only. I mean, or mainly. Not saying like, for example, now we are here because we gathered because he posted something on Facebook, but actually we are here physically. But did you have something that is mostly electronic and it's someone that is really important to you in your life?
Yes, at some point of my life I had. Nowadays we... Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Nowadays we lost touch, but we actually maintained a really good contact for a couple of years. So, yeah,
So it works in your opinion?
Yeah, it works.
Okay, couples against marriage. Eugenio.
It's because you mentioned only marriage through church.
Okay, it's not only for church.
Okay, no, because my question was like, is marriage in your point of view associated with church somehow? No.
To a piece of paper that both of you sign.
Okay.
You think no? Okay, so I can.
Yeah, I have a question. Is this marriage thing for you something that happens more between the couple, like two people decide we really want to do something special about our relationship, so let's take a marriage, or it is something more social, like your parents say it would be good to get married, or like, okay, I will pay less taxes if we get married, you know, or it's like from inside or
I will get a
from
passport.
outside.
So basically, I got your question.
Do you think?
Repeat your question? Yeah.
Do you think if it's a couple's decision or is it society pressure?
Probably more society pressure.
Very high answers. Okay, flyers, annoying or useful for Adrian?
Podobno nie używała też takich, bo gdzieś tam nawet ostatnio jak jedna coś szukała, to miała też do Musolina, to zdała tylko poległa, no to dawno nie używała też jakiejś takiej gramatyki. Więc nie pisała, tylko gdzieś tam słyszała, czytała.
Okay, maybe it's not necessarily a question. It's really like, for me, when I go in the street and there are some people with flyers, I usually think more like ethical question. Should I take this flyer so this person still will have a job? Or I maybe shouldn't take this flyer because I know it's a waste of wood, you know, so many forests have to be cut down to produce it. And it's more like an ethical struggle, people versus nature.
It's a good one. Yeah, I like it.
Everything make a stand.
Yeah, and sometimes I just, okay, from this person I take so he will have a job, and from this one no, because I want to save the forest. And I don't know.
So
This person is more important than a tree, and this one is not.
just trying to transform it in a question so Adrian will be able to answer. Nature or nurture? Do you prefer to people have job or nature go on?
Nature, I mean, I don't think that this is a job anyway. I mean, no, because it really, I don't think it should exist as a job. From what I've already called, I mean, for this article that I wanted to write, I already talked with normal people. I've talked with people that do this job, and I've talked with businesses that use this method. And all I could conclude is that around 80% of the flyers after 1 minute go straight to the garbage, and that most of the people don't even look at them even if they take them, and that most of the people don't even take them, that the people that are distributing the flyers, they get paid almost nothing and they need to be there even, well, okay, I've noticed that the businesses are kind of fair, so if it's too cold or raining or snow, they don't need to do it, but still they have to be there in the winter or in during the whole day just standing and giving flyers. It's super boring for a very low pay. The bar itself, even if there would people that would take it, would read it and would go there, it's so a small amount. And actually I asked the bar, and I asked, so how many people actually come just for the free drink that you are giving from the flyer, and how many people actually stay? And from the small amount of people, from all of that actually enter, half of them just go for the free drink and go out. So you have so little amount of people that actually take the flyer, read it, go to the place, have the free shot, and sit down. So for me, it's nature. 100%. I mean, I don't see a point in this.
Okay, now for Mariusz, intellectual property.
I would just say something a little bit more, but you know, when I think of these people, it's more like if they are in this position that they decided to take such a shitty job, it means that it has to be really hard in their life. Like normally nobody will choose giving flyers instead of doing something with passion.
Well, I would discuss more about that if my topic, because I don't want to continue,
Yeah,
but
the problem is that we have to go.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you two things. As people that are speaking very loud, we have to stand up and speak louder, because otherwise if you speak this way, sitting down here is almost impossible to hear you. So now, sorry, it's not for Mariusz. Before we have Maya. Making a connection. Do somebody has a question about making a connection? So I will go for it. Why to make a connection? I mean, I can stay home, have my computer, a lot of video games, have fun.
Then you have a connection with your computer.
With the internet.
Yeah. So is the question about ADSL or about connection with people?
Yeah, I think like connection is something what is necessary in our life, and we can only choose the way, the form of the connection. Like even when you watch your DVDs at home, somebody makes movies, somebody makes programs and stuff like this. So it's always some kind of connection, and we can only choose what kind is more preferable for us.
So is it possible to not have a connection?
I think no.
Okay, so intellectual property, Mariusz. Some question?
Question for Mario. What do you think about intellectual property? What do you think about? What is your position about?
Okay, I basically I don't think it's that. Either way, like artists, at least musicians or actors and people doing this kind of profession can still get paid in other ways, either by direct supporting them through the t-shirts or people who really like, they eventually can buy the CD after downloading it. But even though I think it's more important to give access to information to people from poor countries who couldn't afford, for example, reading a technical book or stuff like that. I think this people before profit.
I just wanted to add something to what you said. I don't think it's. I don't want to risk saying impossible, but saying to be very hard to be innovative in nowadays, because if you create something, it's obviously based on things that you already know, things that other people already created, things that already people said. So in a way, you are already stealing from some other people's ideas and creating a new idea, but it's kind of a mix of other ideas. So there's no real innovation, creating something out of nowhere that nobody ever thought about it.
Yeah, okay.
So that
Can I also
Yeah, you still got 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree with you. There are even some companies who actually make patents without even creating that stuff, in the hope that someone else will eventually create it, so they will get paid for their ideas, and the people are making business because of this. So it's eventually making harder for spreading the knowledge and innovation to everyone else, giving for all the wealthy and mighty people in the first world.
Last question. Marriage, natural state or social programming for Tomasz? I will start with a little question. What is social programming? Because I'm not sure to really understand what you mean with this word.
Social programming is not a natural. Pardon me. No, I feel right. Social programming is, every culture has its own rules. When you are in Japan, it's okay to buy used shorties it's okay to eat raw fish. For example, in Iran, it's not okay to eat a pig. And the same with marriage. Marriage is something that was created, and social programming actually is something that is it's not our nature. It's like a program. Like this is our processor, and you put programs on, and they are working. Like artificial intelligence, which are controlling you, but they are not leading you to the real state of personal luck, but actually giving the puppet masters that hold before the possibility to control you and to earn more money. So be silent, shut up, do things, not being aware of who you are and who you possibly can be. Just be functioning, as you told, like a robot.
Yeah, because my question was about, well, if somebody else have a question, it's better, huh?
Okay.
Just
I can ask, have you ever considered that why those two options have to be exclusive? Why they couldn't just profit, for example, leading us for a better life with, or doing good stuff to us, if they even program? Because of course they still can earn their money if people are happy. Maybe there is a way.
Yes, it's awareness. When you're aware of the situation and when you're aware of your program and you choose freely, yes, then it's completely fine.
okay, so now we'll take like 15 minutes of break. I will read again all the topics, and after, when we come back, we will vote for one of these topics, and we will discuss about it for about 45 minutes, something like that. It depends, because if we have a lot to talk about, we can stay here even 3 hours. It depends by you, not by me. So, we have chances and dangers in modern technology, nudity, immorality, or banned nature, guns against violence, physical music and extinction, relationship and technology, couples against marriage, flyers annoying or useful, making a connection, intellectual property, and marriage, natural state or social programming. So think about and be back in 10-15 minutes. So let's vote. It's democracy time. For new people, you can even vote all topics. You raise when you hear a topic you like, that you would like to discuss with the others, you raise your hand. If you vote for all topics, no problem, because normally there is always one winner. And afterward, if we really have two that have the exact same amount of votes, then we will vote again for those two. Never happens. Changes and dangers in modern technologies. Who want to discuss about changes and dangers in modern technology?
Chances.
Chances, I'm sorry. We want to discuss about nudity, immorality, or banned nature. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć. We want to discuss about guns against violence. 1, 2, 3. We want to discuss about physical music and extinction. Oh, you're so enthusiastic tonight, guys. Because normally it's like almost everybody voting for almost everything.
Because the first one is Poland.
Yeah, probably.
But some
I
of
think
the
we're back to
topics...
the old method for next time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relationships and technology. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery. Couples against marriage.
Well, but
Brutal fight.
but the problem is that the person that suggested it is not here.
Okay. Bad for him.
No, but in the end it's supposed to make a summary and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but we'll take a voluntary.
Okay.
If this idea wins, there will be a voluntary. So once again, couples against marriage. 1, okay.
This should solve the problem.
Yeah. Flyers annoying or useful.
No, possibly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Making a connection. You're not even voting for your topic, come on. He's your son. Okay. 9. Intellectual property. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10. Marriage, natural state, or social program. 5. So now we have 2 with 6. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 1 and 9. So now you can vote for just one of them. The first one is relationships and technology, and the second one is intellectual property and intellectual property. So or you vote for relationships and technology, or you vote for intellectual property.
You like suggested subconsciously that the first one is worse. We did this just. It could influence our decision. Subconsciously.
I have nothing against.
Maybe you do subconsciously.
Okay, or for relationships and technologies, or for intellectual property.
That's more like it.
And so, relations and technology. Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And intellectual property. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going with relationship and technology, suggested by Mariusz. So Mariusz has to start with explaining, well, wait a minute, because now we have to go in the deep.
I think 3 minutes poem explained it enough.
Yeah, maybe. And, okay, now, while people are speaking, you cannot interrupt, okay? That's for new people. Okay? If you want to say something, you have to raise your hand and you will be noted down, okay? So it can happen that, for example, Adrian is speaking, but Tomasz wants to speak. But before Tomasz, Claudia and Mariusz already booked. So you raise your hand, but you will have to speak after Claudia and after Mariusz, and maybe even after Maria. So it's better to note a little bit if you have a mobile phone or something to write what you want to say, because otherwise you risk to just forget it. Just speaking to you because you're new, but you're not the only one new, so just for every new people who tell them that. Actually, I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are new. Really? First one, first one, first one, first one, first one. Yeah. So, yeah. And why this thing? Because sometimes it's very difficult to not answer right away. This guy is saying something that I really want to answer right away. In philosophical practice, what is really important is even the ability to listen to other people until the end. It's something that you never do in reality. I mean, maybe you do it, but I don't. Normally, people, when discuss with each other, they interrupt each other all the time. And in this case, you really have to listen until the end and then answer. For me, is one of the attractives of this thing, and one of the reasons why I'm in love with this thing. You will see. Yes, Mariusz, zaczynamy.
Okay, so what should I do now? Present a short summary once again, or?
You have to start the discussion. You won, so you're the master of this philosophical cafe. You have to start the discussion, and you will have to give us the conclusion at the end.
Okay. So I would like to start briefly. Without further introducing this subject, I would like to start with a thesis, just so we could jump into the discussion. I think that technology can be really beneficial, and we can actually find better partners with use of technology. Do you have some opinions on that?
I don't know if we are supposed to raise the hand in the beginning as well.
Well, in theory, yes, but in practice, if there is nobody else, you can totally speak.
Okay, I think, yes, I agree with you, but I think well, I have two things to say. One is that I think there needs to be a balance, but I would think, for myself at least, but I believe it's...
Sorry, once again, can you please always stand up when you speak?
Yeah. Sure. So I believe, I agree with you that technology can be very helpful in the case that you were mentioning, for example, finding a partner, meaning a partner being can be somebody that's like a boyfriend or wife or something, but also a work partner or something. But in my opinion, needs to be a balance, and I think for myself, and I think for the majority of people, still the face-to-face, it's still very big. It's in my opinion, it's like 60-40, like technology 40 or even 70-30. That technology can be a mean too, but the most important thing and the best way for myself is the physical way. Maybe you will meet that person in online or you will keep in touch online, but still there needs to be a strong presential connection in order to work, in my opinion.
And the second thing?
Yeah, that's all mixed. Yeah, so that's all. That's all. Yeah.
Anybody?
I'll try a little provocation.
I knew it.
Which one of you voted against this topic? Can you
Not voting is not voting against. Okay.
With the two questions, yes, in the final round, I voted against.
You voted against
Yeah,
your
I didn't vote at all
Yeah,
because I couldn't
Both
vote.
of them were young.
Yeah, because the second was also.
Okay, but in the second round, a part of Mariusz that, well, he proposed the topic, so maybe he was against, but even a little bit for.
Yes, of course.
Who voted against this topic in the second round? Claudia, why you voted against? Why for you is not that interesting?
Because for me, the other one is more interesting.
Kaboom! Yeah, but I have a topic that is less interesting. Of course, the other one is more interesting. But there must be some reason. Can you tell us why? Because even to know why it can be not interesting can be.
No, I didn't say it's not interesting. I meant that the other one was more interesting.
Yeah, but you can tell us why it's less interesting, because it's gonna be a good criticism can be a good departing point.
No, it's just feeling the emptiness of the discussion. No,
I can give something new. I voted yes for both before the final round, and then I decided for his topic because I thought it connected a bit of what I wanted to talk for my other three topics, so I could still talk about my other stuff in this topic.
Smart.
Yeah, this one was quite political. There is political philosophy, and this is politics in philosophy.
So I want to take also from something what you said in the beginning when you're presenting it, just about Tinder specifically. I've used it. Everybody probably knows it's an application for the phone that while you register with your Facebook and it's comparing the friends you have in common and the likes you have. I think it's interesting in the way that it already directs you to people that most likely you will like, but in the practical way I think it's only a dating app. I couldn't manage to find anyone there. I was actually just looking around, but I couldn't find anyone interesting that wouldn't be looking for a partner. So everybody else is like a superficial conversation, hi, how are you, what's up, or something, and there was not really anyone I could find that actually just was there to look for somebody interesting or for making friends. It was more like, well, I need somebody to hang out with, not to say other kind of stuff, but in the practical way it doesn't really work, in my opinion.
Have you ever met somebody physically?
I have a girlfriend, what do you mean?
No.
Yeah, but she's not there.
I'm not lonely.
You were talking about Tinder, and you were talking about the possibility. You was talking about.
I met a lot of people physically. I mean,
From
personally
Tinder.
from Tinder.
Okay.
And either they were not interesting at all, or they were looking for somebody, and I wasn't. So, yeah.
But that's why you did the humanity, because this is designed for people who are single and looking. If you have a girlfriend, you are meeting people.
It's not designed for that. Like the idea is more like what you were saying, that you can meet interesting people. It can be for looking for your partner. It can be for looking for somebody to start a business with, or some friend that has the same interest.
Not business.
Hey, people, please don't do that, okay?
Not business, because this is based only on the picture. So this is not designed to look for people to make business with. This is designed to meet people to date. This is about dating application, right? So if you have a girlfriend, you should use different application. This is designed for single people.
Okay.
You see the point, right? So if you didn't achieve, I've never used this one, but I know it, and this is designed to date people. So
But
if you are looking for business partners, there are other applications, right? Or if you're looking for friends, there are other, because this is based on the pictures taken from the Facebook profile. So in order to say I like or I don't like, you base your assumption, your judgment only on the pictures. And then of course, if both of you like an artist, or of course this is taking into account all the likes on Facebook, but this is obviously to date people, like that's the thing. So there are other applications for business. It's like if I'm using LinkedIn, like I'm using Facebook. There's LinkedIn and there is Facebook. I can't publish my CV on Facebook, or I cannot post a picture with me drinking a pivo on LinkedIn. So they use it. It was wrong. If you have a girlfriend, you shouldn't use Tinder.
In my opinion, I think you are wrong from just well, I do agree that the practical way of it's a dating website, and I was just curious when I was using it, but I don't believe, or at least myself, I wasn't choosing people based on the picture. Yes, you do have the picture, but I was choosing people based on the friends we have in common and based on the things we have in common. And sometimes I would have more than 30, because it's the maximum of likes. You have more than 30 topics in common, and when you see something like a Portuguese artist from the town where I am from, which nobody knows, like I would wish to know how the hell do you know this artist or this person. So it's also interesting in this point of view. And actually I got a bit closer. Even some people was looking for a partner. I could have a small discussion at least about these two topics. I agree with you that maybe that's not the best application to find a friend or to find a business partner, but I think that at least the first idea of the creators was to connect with people in general, but in the practical way it's not. Yeah, that's all.
No, I only one curiosity. You were also, so based on this assumption, if you were not looking for a partner, you were doing the like with men also, or only women? When you were using
depends, but no, mostly women. I must say
women, but men also
as well.
And you are heterosexual?
Thomas, you really have to raise your hand.
Yeah.
Pardon.
Please.
Yes.
Another example, like couchsurfing. I remember we had a conversation about couchsurfing that they designed it. This is a wrong usage of the application, because in the beginning this is about to travel, to be hosted by somebody who's living there, who can show you the city or take you somewhere. Then there are some people who are wrongly using it, like to find partners. So to look for a partner, not a sexual or a date, not all about sex, but let's say not a partner like a date. On Tinder is like to look for a sexual partner in couchsurfing. So if I'm using couchsurfing to look for a sexual partner, this is not the way, this is not the reason why the application has been designed. There are a lot of people are doing this. But still, so we should, in technology, you have a purpose, you have a goal, you should use the most appropriate and adequate application for that part. I mean, I'm looking for a job, I go LinkedIn, I'm sharing pictures of my holidays or whatsoever, not me, Gianmarco, in general. So Facebook, or so it's a matter of finding the right application, because there are plenty of applications. So Tinder is definitely for this, couchsurfing. Then this is a matter of ethics, so that people are using wrongly, because there are no, in my opinion, there are no bad things or good things. It's the usage. It's like everything. If you abuse of anything, it can be bad. Like chocolate, like wine, like everything. Like a car. If you have a car accident because you are driving super fast, the problem, or drunk, the problem is not the car. The problem is that you are driving 150 kilometers per hour drunk. So we shouldn't blame cars. We should blame you because you are not using the car. Or Facebook. If you spend 12 hours per day chatting on Facebook, you don't have a life, the problem is not Facebook, because there are people who are doing great things, like you use Facebook to organize this event, so we met each other on a philosophical cafe. So the usage, not the technologies, because everything, television, even fruit. If I'm eating like 5 kilos of apples in 1 hour, I go to the car. So it's not the apples are bad, it's because I abused. So this was an extreme example. But so technology, if you are clever and smart enough, then it's not bad or good. It's your usage. So Facebook is wonderful, and all of them are wonderful when used in the most appropriate way. But, so this is a matter of educating also people to use the technology. This should come from possibly from school, from family. So now it's kids, they have a smartphone when they are 8, 9 years old. So this is also another topic, probably going out of the relationship. We're going, but of course, this technology is wonderful. I'm pro technology, but I would like to keep like the usage of technology like adequate and appropriate, because otherwise it's a mess. Couchsurfing, wonderful, but of course if I'm being hosted by somebody who wants to so then it's not couchsurfing which is it's this guy who's not using that's the...
Now we have Mariusz, but before I would like to put a little question to move a little bit the discussion even in other direction, if you want to take it, otherwise you don't have to answer my question, it's just a question, just an idea. What about mythology? Because for a lot of psychological schools, in couple, what is very important is the mythology of the couple. For example, we met one rainy day in a bus stop, and we understood from the very first moment that we were meant to be together. What about the mythology? Because talking about the mythology, well, we met on Facebook, no, not even on Facebook, on Tinder. We met on Tinder and we went out for a beer, and love started. It can be maybe a good way to start a couple, but a very bad mythological structure behind, so it can be a very weak relation. Because, for example, if people do something very important to each other, the couple will be very strong. If people just are good together because there is nothing else to do in this very moment of their life, yes, maybe they will be together, but the structure of the couple stays weak. Now we have Mariusz, after Adrian, and Szymon. Proszę bardzo, Mariusz.
Okay, so
I Dorota.
I would like to reply to your question. It sounds really interesting. I don't think if you had the same kind of books in your country, but in Poland there was a particularly successful book, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago? Okay. About 10 years ago, which was called in Poland Samotność w sieci, something like that. It was pretty successful. And the main plot was actually
Lone Child?
The plot, Samotność w sieci. Loneliness in the web. In the web, in the net, on the internet, something like that. Sieć is like the web. And the main plot was actually a romance which started, and the whole book was writing emails to each other and connecting with this. So for me, particularly, I think maybe not on Skype or something like that, but at least email or chatting can be pretty successful way of creating this kind of mythology, because you are not interested in the looks, but with the inside of the other person. So for me, it can serve as a really powerful means to achieve, because it sounds cooler that we exchanged emotional letters, even though I had no idea how she looked like. Then, for example, oh, I've met her at the bus stop and she looked hot, and so I invited her for a coffee. So it can be more deep, at least theoretically. And some years ago, when we didn't have Skype.
Adrian.
So I agree with both, but I agree more with him. Sorry. I agree with both, but I agree
It's
more
more
with him.
important for the people there and here, because even if they don't race, they are still in the middle, so quite visible for everybody. But them, you
Okay. So I think it can be very useful because it breaks the barrier of what should we talk about. if you already know from the social media, by Facebook, by Tinder, by whatever, which topics you have in common, what activities you like to do in common, when you would actually meet, you can already talk about those, or you can do these activities. If you are both into, I don't know, hiking, you can go both hiking. So it's stepping already the first part. Okay, it's not as romantic, I would say, as you met a girl in the bus stop, she looks nice, you invite her for a coffee, and then she's the woman of your life. Okay, maybe not the most romantic story ever, but still you met through in like the web, let's say, and you didn't have to be shy at the moment, like, I like cars, but maybe she doesn't like cars, maybe I shouldn't talk about this topic, or should I invite her out, or should I invite her for hiking, maybe she doesn't like to hike. Or it's, for me it's like stepping already, like all of this mess from the beginning, you already know that, okay, this person likes this, I like this as well, we can do this together maybe. And I wanted to say something else, but meanwhile I forgot. Okay, next, I will.
Shimon.
Okay, so I also want to answer to a question. It's a bad mythology, and it depends on a point of view, because if you have distance and self-irony, it could be a really cute mythology. Like, hey, it's so freaking it's so freaking ridiculous. We've met on Tinder and we're best couple ever. And I wanted to say something more. And oh yeah, internet and web and Tinder, these are things really like there are symbols already. So it's like nowadays mythology. That's all.
Borówka.
I don't know, because for me there is no such thing like good mythology for couples, because we are not. No, I will not stand up because the sitting position helps me to think. I'm sorry, because the vertical position.
You are in the middle, so probably
yeah,
it's possible to understand you even if you don't
I will be very loud. So I think we're not living in a medieval time that we need some kind of the legend like Tristan and Isolde, which is occupying my mind the last time, I don't know why. But
you don't need it, but still you were thinking about it.
Yeah, because you know, it's like you start to think, what does it mean that, I don't know, I don't think that we should, I don't know, assess the value of the relationship based on the things that we do for each other. Like, he loves me if he would kill 2 dragons for me, for example, like in Tristan and Isolde, whatsoever. It's not working this way. It's not this way that if he loves me, like we put this conditional. If he loves me, he will not, I don't know, leave the city. If he loves me, he will kill the prince, or things like that. It's like, I don't know, mythology is like putting the thing, the relation in the frame, yes, because we are putting our lives, our stories in the frame of narration somehow. I don't know why we need it to write. I don't know. It's like I don't know, but lately I'm thinking about it. But it's still like the social concept that if love happens in the past with romantic thinking that this is the woman of my life or man of my life, it's better than if we have one night stand and then we continue we decide to continue this because of the lack of something better. I wouldn't say that it's bad, because you know that sometimes the good story can have a very bad beginning. So it's like that.
So before we go on, I would like to specify one thing. Everybody's thinking about the bus, but my romantic image was about the rain. I said I met her under the rain because we protected both under the bus stop. So the bus stop was, but everybody took just the bus stop. That is not that romantic to me, but still. Mariusz.
Okay. Okay, now I know why I should have taken my notepad. I remember that I wanted to reply to you, and I totally forgot. Oh, okay. I'll just hope something different. I think that technology can be and is pretty useful for more introverted people who never ask personally to a stranger for example, a coffee. It can be a really good way, at least for breaking the first ice and try to establish some means of communication. So yeah, this is one of the really big benefits of at least of a means to put it on the.
We was talking about the bus station and the rain, and this was a very romantic moment when two people can meet. When you just click yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and you click like 50 people, and like, wow, this is the one. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. I saw her face, and he's beautiful. That's not that good, but we are judging. I will tell you a story. My grand uncle and my grand aunt met in Auschwitz. They are now over 90 years, and they are happily together for over 70 years. Is this romantic? Not at all. They got almost killed. Is it a story you want to tell? I don't know. But this was the coincidence. Two people from two parts of Europe stuck in a dramatic place, and the result of it is a very happy relationship for over 70 years. So, this is the new age, as you told. We have to cope with our lives in a way that's very unusual because all the possibilities are now very easy to make. For example, you just get home, you can order everything, and you get lonely, but you can still survive. In the ancient times, it wasn't possible, you couldn't survive. And the second thing, as you told, Dorota, the people are framing everything. Yes, we do this because it's easier for us. And the natural instinct of us is to judge because we have to judge. Normally, we have to judge because we had to survive. And it was quite easy. When we saw a bear, we have to run and we have to judge. Okay, I had to do this. But nowadays, we have like millions of possibilities, and it's very, very hard to cope with it in one way, and as you told, because it's possible to escape from real life and from the social aspect of ourselves. It can be a possibility to get back to the social being who we actually are. But I'm not the one to judge if it's okay just to meet, have a one-night stand, and just like that's it. Is this okay to meet a best friend, meet someone on the right platform, as you call, or to meet someone who will help you, like in my case, if I need a flat or a room. I think this, as you told, is the way you should use it. The way you start to use it and misuse it is the most important part. Be aware what's your goal, what's the story you want to tell afterwards.
I just wanted to add what I had forgotten to say before, which is that
Force be with me.
I just wanted to add what I didn't say before, which is that most, or if not all, of my best friends right now, including my girlfriend, I met because of couch surfing. Maybe not couch surfing. Maybe not because only, so that I was looking on the website for meeting people, but there are meetings of people that like couch surfing, and so actually I met her because I was hosting some guy that was her friend, and then he was meeting her, and we had her to meet it as well, and somehow we got together. And as well as my best friends at the moment, all somehow are connected with the web. So that's the only thing I want to add.
Gianmarco.
A question for Mariusz. When you suggested the topic with relationship and technology, you meant relationship like of love or sex, or relationship like business, friends, because specifically, because a relationship for a lot of people evokes like a couple, love, sex, but you meant in general like business, friendship.
My initial, my first thought was about meeting the person you love, but it also expanded both in my view and also in the poem, when there was also the suggestions about the relationship that they won't be people for you when you will get out of this. So even the poet considers you can think it in both ways and consider it. I think you can think it in both ways and in this topic at once. There are the same advantages and disadvantages. I think the biggest arguments are still both for love and for friends. Both that can be ruined by technology, both can be amended. Better, much better. Sorry for not standing, I forgot.
So, another little provocation about tough mythology. So, for example, your grandparents is some case of tough mythology. It means they had to deal with something very serious, okay? Because, I mean, being Auschwitz was quite something. But still, in Chinese, to say crisis, they use a very curious word that is weiji. It's very curious because the first part means, the first part means problem, and the second part means opportunity. So when you face some weiji, if you get by and you are able to find a solution together, that can become good mythology. Of course, if you don't, it can not become good mythology. For example, your parents ended up good, and the case of Eric Clapton ended up bad, because Eric Clapton had a problem with the children dying, and he had to split with his wife, because they weren't no more able to stay together after this tragedy. Because your parents found a way to get out, and they haven't. So, how to face crises in couples? Is it important? Is it better to not have any crisis ever? Is it always better to have a crisis? I don't know, just throwing material on the table.
I think, in my personal view, is that the very fact that there are crises that is an essential thing for a big and important love story, a traditional mythological love story to happen. Like the essential part of every big narrative of love involves overcoming even the greatest of difficulties. From the ancient times, we can see over and over that the real love is beyond everything. You can be split apart and try to go home for 10 years, but you still go home and overcome this crisis and meet them, and even kill all the guys who sleep with your wife or something like that.
And you have mistresses everywhere.
Yes, but you overcome this later on.
Yeah.
Of course. So yeah, I think this is important, because it would be otherwise boring probably to just live and sit with each other without even quarreling.
So your point is that every couple must have some crisis.
Yeah, I think it can, or at least it can be waved in this Chinese word you said, that it can be seen as opportunity to even straighten up your bonds, at least.
Yeah, because I reminded lately, I've been reading this article about the way to fall in love that American researcher, that's why I am not so convinced about this, but I heard that the best way to fall in love is to talk with the person about the most intimate details about your life, and then to look in each other's eyes for 4 minutes. This is the recipe for the love. But
4 minutes, like you can count the seconds.
yeah, they do this. They do this because they are American researchers, probably. That's why. But my concern is that for sure the things that we are sharing with the other person are very important, and if the things that we're sharing are tough and sometimes, you know, overwhelming, they make people like closer somehow. Of course, they can be too overwhelming and they can destroy the relationship. But I think that somehow they are helping to build the relationship.
I have to leave because I have to work, but it was great fun and thanks a lot. And we'll meet next time.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, if there's no one, I would like to ask you something, Dorota, about this research. Was this about people who just met, or people who know each other?
No, completely strangers.
Complete strangers.
Yeah.
Because I just thought that it really could be easy. People who would just spontaneously understand your biggest intimate question or concern would be really good fit for each other.
No, there was a list of 20 questions you should, you should answer, and then
36.
36? No, I've read about 20.
Just 20?
Or maybe
even faster than the one I know. Good.
They will eventually
I'm
find
better
one.
Yeah, but maybe I'm not. I don't remember the article.
Because the
A
very
long time ago.
there is a very famous theory. I thought you were speaking about this one, that says that with 36 questions you can make a woman fall in love with you, and there are a lot of articles about it, and it's exactly about that I would like to throw on the table my next provocation. And the next provocation is: can a love really start like that, or if it starts like that, it will end like that? Is it possible to start durable things, durable human relationships, like with a switch, or very deep one have to start with some time? Honestly, I really don't know. I would like to know it, but I don't.
I think, well, in my opinion, it's with time. Obviously, I'm more like what you were saying. If it starts like that, it will end like that. Just by my personal experience, the ones that started like that actually ended like that because they were not really meaningful. And the ones with my girlfriend, we were best friends for 1 year before we even started dating. So it's something that takes time, in my opinion.
Maya, you said nothing until now, so.
Yeah, I was thinking about lots of stuff. So, well, I think that like falling in love, something immediately, it's more like to have crush on somebody. You cannot say you truly and deeply love somebody you don't really know. It's like, I don't know how angry he can get, I don't know what he really likes, yes, I don't know what he dreams of, and maybe I like this face, maybe I like some speech we had, but then it turns out that this person is, you know, completely unbearable for me. So it can happen. And I also thought about these tough experiences that make a couple something more special about each other. It's something like when you survive together, whatever it is, you have this possibility that you can stay in silence, and you know in the silence that you understand each other at some level that nobody will understand you. And this is something like very, very special between only you two who are in this particular action event, something like this. And I was also thinking that website or like web can be a good place for starting a deeper relationship when there is no fuss, no rush into something. Like when I was a teenage girl, I used to have a photo blog where you were posting only your photos with some description, what kind of this is. And it wasn't like Facebook, so okay, now I'm eating my lunch and something like this. It was more like if you want to express your emotions and your thoughts through the picture, then you can have this photo blog. And I met a lot of people where our acquaintance started like, oh, it's nice, and speaking about our feelings, our thoughts, and you know what we see in the world as something interesting. So it was more slowly and completely different.
Up here? Nobody? Nothing?
What I could say is I actually people that were talking before me, and I'm the same opinion that's just like that, it's only a passion. It's romance, it's a first feeling, it's that someone is beautiful or I like someone only because he looks great. Maybe at the first sight we behave in a very good way. But for saying that someone loves someone, we need some time. We need this painful moment, we need this beautiful moment, because everything is alive, just alive. When we are together, when we can trust each other after all these years, so I think this is the love, not this first passion, this first moment. It will come by when we are older, when our bodies are not so beautiful, and something in our minds will still be the same, that we know each other, you know what gives us pleasure, what we are interested in, and I think this is the actual feeling.
I think that love happens in time. First you have to know the person, you have to trust the person, and we need to see the person in every time, every happens. We had to know what the person like, what the person dislike, and then I think that love is time.
Shimon, you were writing like a novel, so can we know at least the title?
I beg your fucking pardon.
You've been writing a lot of things, so...
Because I needed to, and I was actually about to leave because I personally don't really think that the topic fertilizes the discussion.
Change it.
Well, I don't see a field.
You don't see
a field for that.
There is now.
Or probably I'm just not in shape to. It's not really. I think this time there's no point of me sitting here, so. But I hope next time I'm gonna get the shape I got previously.
Yes, I would like also to add that with omitted thing.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
If we all are that sleepy, we can just make Marius finish the Philosophical Café and that's it, okay? Because I mean, we never had a so sleepy Philosophical Café from 5 years, so probably we just have to finish here.
You're doing it from 5 years.
Yeah, well, more or less.
Really?
In Wrocław?
No, maybe no. How much? You are in the first one. You are in the first one.
Well, I've arrived in 2010, so we are in 2015, but I don't know if you were here from the beginning, so
I was here from 2009, but I haven't started right away. I started a little bit afterward.
I would say it's 4.
Maybe yes.
4 and something.
Yeah, still, normally, really, we never had a so sleepy philosophical cafe. Never, ever. It's probably, sometimes just in the air there is not the energy to do something. I choose the topic, it's not my fault.
I don't know if we have the time to start.
Well, I can say something about what they are talking right now, which is about changing the topic, which is, well, we cannot change the topic just because we chose this one, but I might add that not wanting to make any advertisement on the Philo Café, but on Sunday we are going to have Rock Doc, I don't know if you heard, it's like a documentary night with discussion in the end, and there you can actually discuss about the topic, and after we go out and we discuss about the topic. So if you wish to choose any other topics, or you can always come on Sunday and do it, and obviously come to the next Philo Café and choose a different topic.
Yeah, because my question is, why have you chosen a topic that apparently you don't like?
I didn't do it.
Yeah, who chose it? I mean, it wasn't me for sure, because I can't vote, okay? So
I voted for the other.
Fuck.